last night I was sleeping, and around 3 in the morning, I was woken up by the missile attack. The missile attack that was fired by Iranian forces out of Syria went right past my hotel on the Galilee near Golan Heights. And so I heard it all. And, if you watch the video that I posted on my Twitter and my Periscope, you can actually see some of the missiles being intercepted by the Iron Dome with little flashes in the sky.
You've got Israel hitting that base, claiming they were aiming missiles at Israel. Well, they're firing missiles back. Israel's bombing them. It's a real mess, but that deal was a real mess. We're going to get Laura Loomer's take in Israel on this, in the Golan Heights, where the rockets were landing last night, and where the air raid sirens were taking place. Because this is a war that has already kicked off. This is conflict with the Iranian / Saudi Arabian civil war that's happening inside Islam, spilling over into Israel. And these are just the lighter weapons that are going in. Iran's got heavy missiles, thousands of them. So how soon until, oops, a ship gets sunk? How soon until the tit for tat escalates very, very quickly? Right now, Israel is shooting down most of these incoming missiles that are medium size with its Iron Dome system. But I want Laura Loomer, who again has filed reports right up there in the Golan Heights from the mountaintops. She's now in a safer location in the Golan, and she's again got her a Twitter account we're going to put on screen for you if you want to follow that. But there she is yesterday and this morning at the Golan Heights. At Laura Loomer is how you can follow her on Twitter. Laura, wow, I didn't know you were in Israel until I started seeing your reports getting filed in the middle of the night. So I hope you're being safe there.
Yeah, I'm doing my best. It's been a wild night. I've been in Israel for about a week or so now, and I'm going to be here probably for the rest of the month just reporting really on the embassy move. But last night I was sleeping, and around 3 in the morning, I was woken up by the missile attack. The missile attack that was fired by Iranian forces out of Syria went right past my hotel on the Galilee near Golan Heights. And so I heard it all. And, if you watch the video that I posted on my Twitter and my Periscope, you can actually see some of the missiles being intercepted by the Iron Dome with little flashes in the sky. And you can hear the sound of the fighter jets flying by as well.
Look, here's the deal. Everybody knows I'm not anti-Israel. I like Israel. At the same time, I don't like the Iranian dictators. I like the Iranian people. But Trump makes this announcement, and then Israel bombs this military base. You're in Israel. Maybe you have inside baseball why they did that. And then now this tit for tat. I mean, I think there's a war really pretty much started between Israel and Iran right now. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying for weeks now that I think that it's inevitable. I think there's going to be war between Israel and Iran. And I think that a lot of the, it's not just Israel, right? We've seen the behavior on behalf of the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. I mean, coming out just kind of out of nowhere, all of a sudden saying that Israel has a right to exist, which is something that no Muslim leader has ever said, right? I mean, that's totally.
Stay there. Skype's breaking up a bit. We're coming right back. Yeah, I mean, war has already started between Iran and Israel. I mean, it's happened here. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. All right, Laura Loomer joins us. Her Skype failed, so she's joining us via the phone from the Golan Heights, right there by the Galilee where the rockets came in last night. And here's my bottom line. The optics are bad. Trump says we're pulling out of the Iran deal. And then I see all over the news, Israel bracing for Iranian attack, and then Israel hits this air base that kills a bunch of Iranians and who knows who else, just south of Damascus in Syria's capital, and then they fire rockets back in, and then Israel attacks that. And then we don't really hear from Israel much about why they did it other than there were missiles aimed at Israel there. Well, by that extension, they could attack in the main country of Iran and kick off the big war. So, again, I want to get Laura's take on that, what the Israelis she's talking to, what the military she's saying are saying, and what the inside scoop is. And then, as she said, all the signs are there with the crown prince who's running Saudi Arabia, recognizing Israel, saying he's going to let Christian churches and Jewish mosques or Jewish synagogues be right next to mosque, and just all these statements. A major political realignment with Israel, the United States, and Saudi Arabia against Iran, and this whole situation in Syria. It just sounds like the beginning of potential World War III. Laura Loomer.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, and I apologize for my Skype failing.
Hey, that's not your fault. That's the technology.
Right
no.
Yeah, it's really hard to get service here, as you can imagine. But yeah, look, I think that this has been in the works for some time now. I've been reporting for the past few months that I predict that there was going to be war with Iran, especially because of Saudi Arabia's very random, strange, and misplaced connection with Israel lately. And, that's just something that Muslim nations, especially Wahhabist nations, don't do. They don't really recognize the state of Israel, right? They're very anti-Semitic. They're very, anti-Jew, anti-Israel. Really inherently, it's kind of embedded in their culture. And so I think that Saudi Arabia is just kind of playing Israel like a fiddle so that they can both, split the bill for attacking Iran. And then if Saudi Arabia and Israel go to war with Iran, then I feel like that would inherently draw the U.S. into the war as well. So I think that it's kind of like a little dance to engage Trump in a war with Iran. We saw Netanyahu's presentation recently in which he pretty much, you got the vibe that he was really speaking to Trump, right? Speaking to America about how Obama lied about the Iran deal and Iran lied about the Iran deal because, as you know, Mossad agents went in and they carried out this very covert operation and escaped with thousands of documents about the Iranian nuclear program. So I think it's inevitable. The tensions are rising, and I was on the Golan Heights today speaking with IDF soldiers. I was on the Lebanon border speaking with IDF soldiers as well. And they have been preparing for this for a while, they tell me, and they think that things will be very hectic for the next week or two, but they're hoping that they will be under control, especially given the fact that today or last night, the IDF did take out or they're claiming at least most of the Iranian military installations located in Syria.
Now, this could easily escalate, though. I hope that it de-escalates and a new deal can be made that's better, because obviously that was just a ceasefire a few years ago from the low-intensity conflict that was still going on. Of course, it's high-intensity if you get killed, but militarily it's seen as low-intensity conflict, firing rockets and bombing each other occasionally back and forth. But now this major realignment and what's happening in Iran, talking about launching full-out war, attacking U.S. ships. If they attack a U.S. ship, Trump is going to hit Iran very, very hard. Iran says they're going to have a total commitment back, and this could explode into a major league hot war within hours.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But it's not only just, like physical attacks. Iran said that they will, there was a report today I saw in the Daily Mail about how Iran may be carrying out cyber attacks against Western businesses to retaliate against Trump and the United States from withdrawing from the Iran deal, of course. So I think that a cyber attack could be even more devastating, really, than a bombing, because I don't really feel like the United States is really prepared for a massive cyber attack on electrical grids and infrastructure, right? I mean, we're always talking about bombings and, like actual physical military attacks, but nobody really ever talks about how devastating a large-scale cyber attack could be.
Well, this could go nuclear very quickly. My sources a decade ago told me that Iran had at least 5 nuclear weapons, atomic bombs, but they didn't have a delivery system. And then you notice that when Netanyahu gave those presentations, which Iran admits are real documents, they're just older, that they had a goal of 5 weapons. And then you look at all the castings and all the documents and the videos. I mean, they've achieved atomic weapons, is what I've been told. And the real concern, you kept seeing this from Netanyahu and from Trump, was the ICBMs, the fast delivery systems that can hit Europe as well already. So I think that's why Israel and others are so and Saudi Arabia are so concerned because I was told by very credible sources and have been on record 10 years ago that Iran has 5 weapons.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and that's the discussion that's really taking place here in Israel as well. And it's also very concerning because, as you know, the embassy move is taking place in 4 days. And the aggression is not only now directed towards Israel, but it's also, really directed towards Americans. And there's going to be a lot of Americans in Israel and the U.S. delegation, many members from Trump's administration here this week for the official embassy move and, 70th anniversary of, Israel's independence. And so, of course, that gives the United States and Israel even more motive and more concern when it comes to eliminating, these Iranian military bases in Syria and really just making sure that they are denuclearized.
Well, I know this. 6 years ago, our own military told Obama no in backing Saudi Arabia and a different faction then that's been taken out, reportedly now, to overturn Syria and give it to basically Wahhabist al-Qaeda folks. And then Syria did agree, and then this came out later. We first broke it here from Colonel Schaefer and others. They did agree to then, once ISIS and al-Qaeda were kicked out, to hold elections and that Assad would leave. So I think a lot of the pressure now from Trump is the fact that we haven't been hearing that from Assad now. So I don't know if Assad is going to abide by that deal. Any word on that in Israel?
I can't really speak to that, no. But I would agree with you on that. I have the same feeling as you do, the same concern. But really, the focus right now, it's oddly calm. I mean, regardless of the fact that there were these attacks last night, Israel and the Israeli people and the IDF, they seem to be very calm. I mean, the people in the Golan Heights today, they sent their kids to school. People went to work. It was still open. It wasn't shut down. And the
sure, well, that's good news, but I'm just concerned this tit-for-tat back and forth or the ships there in the Persian Gulf is something that could trigger very, very quickly because this is basically a state of war between Israel and Iran with the U.S. being sucked into it. I know this, though. I've never, in the 3 or 4 years I've been following your work, I've never seen you cover anything from Israel. So I guess you did predict this a few months ago. I guess you traveled there because you want to be in the middle of this to report on it. So you got a lot of courage being right there in the middle of it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you are right. This is a tit for tat. I mean, I was on the Lebanon border with Israel yesterday, and they did have Israeli gunships in the water patrolling, because they have Iranian proxies, Hezbollah right across in Lebanon. And so this could get nuclear, and it could become very disastrous very quickly. While it may appear to be calm, you are correct.
All right. Well, listen, Laura Loomer, we're going to continue to check in with you as things unfold. Hopefully, we don't have to check in with you because hopefully this all de-escalates. But right now, there is a state of war going on. As we try to end the war on the Korean Peninsula with the hostages coming back. I got the video and audio and my breakdown of that on the other side. Will Trump get the Peace Prize? We'll discuss it straight ahead. Be safe, Laura Loomer. People can follow her videos from the ground at Laura Loomer on Twitter. Follow us at Real Alex Jones and at Prison Planet. Stay with us.
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
He goes to jail! He goes to jail! Lock him up!
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
InfoWars comes to mind.
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. Alex Jones.
There's a lot of controversy around this network about Alex Jones.
Google is being accused of hiding negative stories about Hillary and her campaign by changing its algorithm to bury stories like the Clinton body count story. That's according to website InfoWars.
It sounds like it's confirmed there are at least 2 shooters with fully automatic weapons.
Dr. Martin Luther King has been shot to death in Memphis, Tennessee.
JFK was shot from the back and the front.
It was almost as if it were a planned implosion. It just pancaked.
They took the babies out of incubators and left the children to die on the front floor.
I think this is a national security imperative. We have clear things that we do not understand how they work, operating in areas that we can't control.
UFOs.
Is this global governance at last? Is it one world, the central bankers in charge?
Israel claims the attack was accidental, but some former U.S. naval officers say it was on purpose. They describe the day's action as part of a continuing cover-up.
Russian intelligence compiled a dossier on Mr. Trump during visits to Moscow.
Russian scum!
Denied everything. He called it all fake news.
And he accused CNN of being fake news.
This is a national emergency.
If they kill Trump or remove Trump, it will cause a massive civil war in this country.
This is a FEMA high-level alert.
We are at war with Russia.
Are you aware that Mr. Stone also stated publicly that he was in direct communication with Julian Assange and WikiLeaks?
The White House and the President are citing InfoWars.
They could shut us down. You're next.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance. It's Alex Jones.
Years ago, InfoWars Life created the powerful MycoZX formula to help you combat internal yeast. As the years went on and more toxins were pumped into the environment, our team knew we had to create a bigger and better formula to help support your gut health. MycoZX Plus is the result of the search for that formula, a unique natural formula designed to support the body's natural cleansing of yeast and fungal organisms. There's no better product to help your body fight back. MycoZX Plus helps support a healthy microbial balance in the body, supports your digestive tract, and addresses the intestinal yeast that can cause you problems if it goes unchecked. Powered by an impressive list of ingredients, including grapefruit seed extract, pau d'arco bark, and grapeseed extract, our formula is fueled by ingredients that stood the test of time as powerful microbalancing properties. Pick up a bottle of the new and improved MycoZX Plus today at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com.